weekend that had a lot of success, you know, in these bigger games with FBS opponents. But I mean, anything can happen against these types of opponents. And I mean, just give us a good preview on Ole Miss.
Well, Ole Miss, great football team. You can see that under that new staff, they've made a lot of progress. They run that fast-paced offense. They're great on defense. A lot of big kids that can run. I mean, it's an SEC team, so we're looking at a great team with a lot of depth. We're preparing right now with the idea of making it, figuring out how to win the game. That's the only way that we know how, and we have to prepare. There's a lot of things we have to fix, but special teams being one of them. But I think we'll put this week to good work.
Coach, I know we've talked about this every year when you play one of these teams, and sometimes like at Central Michigan, maybe it's not the level. I know you go into every game hoping to win. At what point does it get very well? You're just trying to keep people healthy, and you see how the game goes along?
Well, it's not a matter of healthy is probably not the word.
Fresh,
you just want to keep them fresh.
Yeah.
You have to make a decision. One, from a defensive standpoint, we have to play a lot of players just because of the style of offense that these people run. They're coming at you fast-paced, and you can see on film where they had defenses either fatigued or making mistakes because of the speed of the game. And on the other side of the ball, you know, from our offensive standpoint, you're dealing with bigger and faster people, so we just have to hold up and just keep punching at them, and they'll probably have it too deep, and we typically don't have that.
I saw some of their game the other night. They definitely have a lot of speed. Like you say, SEC, that's all speed's all over that conference, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that was a great game, by the way.
Real great
Vanderbilt and Ole Miss. I thought that was a great football game. Both teams competed extremely well, and you know, one of the things that we have to also work on is just the players being comfortable with the atmosphere. Because that's a brand new thing for us as well. You know, we took a young team all the way down to Louisiana, for instance, and you know, I thought we handled things well late on in the game, but I thought we gave up that quick kickoff, you know, and I thought mentally the youth of the team showed up for a period there. So a lot of little things we have to observe and work on this week.
What are your thoughts on playing? I know money game is kind of a necessary, I don't know if it's even a necessary evil. I mean, most teams have to do it, you know, some play more than one. What are your overall thoughts on one of these games?
Well, it's necessary for us. We all know the budget issues when it comes to having a money game and what it does for the athletic part of the program. So we do have to play them. You just have to be careful of who you pick and choose to play. You know, this is a very powerful team that we're going to be playing.
Yeah.
And we just have to, you know, make sure that we play well, which is always, when you play well and you play hard, it tends to minimize the injury factor. So that's the key to the whole thing.
You know, they got speed all over, but that running back's pretty much a jet, isn't he?
Well, two running backs,
okay,
a couple of receivers. They're a fast, big football team if you want to just classify them.
I know the kid who broke out that long one at the end.
Yeah.
He's their top, I guess, returning back. I'm sure they got more than him, but he's
yeah, he went 75 yards in a hurry.
Yeah.
He's not the biggest kid. I want to say he's about 5'7", 162 pounds.
Yeah, he didn't look good.
When he turned the corner, he hit that gear, he was gone.
That was impressive, yeah. What about getting back to his first game? I know as a coach, good or bad, you never overact any one game. I guess that's what you have to keep in mind for a first game like that?
You know, for a first game, the worst thing that probably happened to us for a first game is how we started the game. We give up a big play on a kickoff. Young team, very emotional team. These kids want to play and they want to be successful. And I thought the emotional bottom fell out, and we just didn't execute in too many areas. And it's something I think the kids realized. They lost their eyes, which is a common term of coaching word. You know, when you lose your eyes, it means you're not paying attention to the keys that you need to see. And it's something that happens when you're young. And we're going to have plenty of opportunity going to a place like Ole Miss to make up for that, because we're going to deal with a crowd, and there's a lot lot of new things that we have to deal with now that we didn't even have to deal with going to Southeast Louisiana.
Is it definitely, like I mentioned, good or bad? You never like to overreact too much to any one game, I guess?
You know, you know the old saying is never as good as it seems, never as bad as it seems.
Yeah.
Well, the score was bad. The effort of our players was very good. We didn't execute our techniques the way we needed to execute our techniques. We had some guys trying to see too much instead of focusing on those things. So the real good was how hard they played. The thing that must get fixed in a hurry is playing smarter.
Mentioned, I guess, their quarterback was a pretty darn good quarterback, huh?
Yeah, he was a good quarterback. You know, actually, you know, they've got a very good football team. They have a nice mix of junior college and kids that's grown up in the system. The quarterback obviously took that team to a whole other level of play. But I thought they had a lot of speed, a lot of skill, and they played hard as well.
Yeah, they look pretty impressive watching it. What as far as you feel like there's a chance you'll play more than one quarterback again?
You know, we'll see. We'll see. You know, we'll go into this week and practice and prepare and see where we are and make a decision based on that.
What about, I know a lot of coaches, you mentioned before, there's maybe some of the biggest improvement you make is from the first game to the second game. You believe in that?
Oh, I most definitely do. From an offensive standpoint in particular, I want to see our timing and see what that does from a timing standpoint. In practice and translate that into the game. You know, the speed of the game sometimes changes everything when you have to go actually play that first game. So there's a lot of truth to you improving your second game.
How do you feel like the quarterbacks played overall?
Yeah, you know, they weren't bad. They were similar to the rest of the team, if you ask me. You know, I thought we still had the same issues. The deer in the headlights type of thing, you know, where we just didn't execute the way we can and will.
This guy like Kyle, I mean, you know, he really, I know he played some at Ohio that year, but really hadn't played a lot probably since his senior year of high school, so he's got to be rusty some.
Yeah, he hadn't played in 2 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's where the timing comes in. That's where there's a different level of fatigue and a different level of play when you've got all that adrenaline in you and the timing and all those things, a little bit different. And if you haven't done something like that for 2 years, it takes a little bit of time.
Sure, yeah. One more thing about Ole Miss, I know you guys have, over the years, been kind of competitive with some of the lower level, you know, 1As, you know, the upper level from the, what you call the BCS conferences. I mean, the scores have been pretty gruesome. I mean, you know, I know you never go into a game expecting or hoping that, but I guess it's a reality that it can't happen.
You know, it can happen either way. You know, we're going in to see how we do. You know? We like to say we're going to go down there and win the football game. You know, we'd like to say we're going to go down there and improve on all the things we just talked about, the timing, the effort, all those little things, you know. We'll find out. You know, I can't predict what the score is going to be, but I want to be able to predict that we'll go down there and execute our plan.
I guess if you improve, I guess you can take at least be kind of happy with that, I guess, regardless of the score, huh?
I want to see us get better. There's no question about it. You know, we're young and talented, and I want to see us use our physical ability and combine that with the playing experience, which we've already got one under our belt. We've got a game under our belt already, and now this is the second one. So I'd like to see us get better from that standpoint.
All right, thanks, Coach.